This is how it is going to go. We are going to have 7 days straight where we have picks that you can make with your chance to be BetTV's Betting Extraordinaire for a chance to win $25,000. If you get the first 3 questions right over the course of 3 days, you're going to win $250. If you get to day 5, you're going to win $2,500. And if you get through day 7, a week straight of correct picks, we're going to give you $25,000. No joke.
That is right, $25,000 with 3 contestants remaining this round. This time through today is day 3 of Who Wants to Be Betting Extraordinaire. I am Preston Johnson, your host. This show brought to you by BetTV here in the BetTV studios. Quan, we got 3. I don't remember who it was, but there were 3. Carlos was 1. Mike was 1.
And I believe it's Matthew.
And Matthew, 2 M's. That sounds right. All had the Titans in the Monday Night Football game last night, so they are through. Each of them have $250 on the line today. Then they'll be 3 questions away from the $25,000 opportunity. Carlos, who, by the way, is our biggest winner getting through to day 6, pocketed $2,500 for his day 5 W. He is through as well. Maybe he shows everyone why he's the best. Maybe not. I will say, day 1, typically small favorite. Day 2, last night's usually 50-50. That's why we did pick a side, pick a total. In the Monday night game, what's your favorite? What's your favorite option? Today, you have to go with something that's more of an underdog. Now, these aren't very big underdogs. At least one of them should win more often than not. So at least we'll have one winner pocketing a little cash. But it's also, well, I'm watching right now, Braves-Dodgers about to have first pitch. We're following along in here. Apologize. But it also is opening night for the NBA. It's my favorite sport in the world is basketball. So we got to go that direction, and we scattered the questions. Here they are. He just got them across multiple facets of these 2 games. The first game, even though their options C and D are actually the Nets and Bucks. Harden over 3.5 made threes. Middleton over 1.5 steals plus blocks. And then for the other game, I thought this was really interesting. Someone called in, liked Westbrook over 1.5 threes. The whole narrative, LeBron, new players, AD and Russ, like we're going to see how it's going to work. Let's go ahead. And I cannot believe the first pitch they actually called a ball. I was just like looking back and forth, and then I looked back and it was a 1-0 count. Unbelievable. Already complaining. But will Westbrook chuck 7 or 8 threes tonight? That's what he thinks. He thinks it might be Russ chuck town, LeBron trying to distribute, and then Warriors money line. Yeah, they just got to win the game. They're a 3.5-point dog, but it did just move to 4 circa in between last Rachita and now. Big move. They were 3. Someone came in and popped it to 4 immediately. They didn't even go to 3.5. So I'm not sure if the rest of the market followed yet. I could pull that up actually in the meantime. But yeah, we're ready for the 3 callers. They got lifelines if they want to use them. If not, they can just get rolling. Yeah, they're the only 4 still. A couple of the other 3s moved to 3.5, it looks like. But still pretty straightforward. And by the way, we might get our Celtics. Maybe there was some news, but someone called in like the Celtics plus 1.5. It is now 2. So there may be something there. We will have to check that out. Let me know, Quan, when we got someone on the line. In the meantime, the Dodgers just gave up a leadoff single to start the game. So that's how things are going in here. I love the music. By the way, someone pretty sharp. I won't say his name. I had to think about it for a bit. By the way, the Celtics say Jaylen Brown is questionable and Al Horford is out for tomorrow's season opener against the Knicks. Tim Bontemps, 10 minutes ago, both tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this month, so could be related to that. Unfortunate for whoever it was. I forget who it was that called in and wanted to take Mike, actually, maybe, who's going to be calling for this show. I believe it was him. But that's going to be probably 2.5. So if Jaylen Brown doesn't go, that'll go even higher. Anyways, someone I know, professional bettor, made a ton of money over the last 15 years or so. His favorite MVP bet is Jason Tatum at 30-1 range. And I'm not sure if we've actually looked or talked about that. But it was actually, I think it was pretty good. I'm looking up MVP. Yeah, there's a bunch of 30-1s. Basically the worst price Oh, there's one 20-1 here, but most of it's 25-1, but quite a few 30-1s. The premise is kind of correct. We're like, are we overlooking the Celtics to some degree? And by some degree, maybe they only need to be the 3 seed winning 50-plus games, but maybe it also gets them a 1 or 2 seed, right? Because maybe the Bucks, maybe there's an injury there, but for sure there could be injury stuff and load management stuff with the Nets. So his question was, Tatum at 30-1, and it's like, all right, he makes a leap. He already's near the top and elite in that sense. But if the Celtics just are better than they were a year ago, which is definitely a likelihood of that, it's not awful. It's one of the guys that's in that age range where he could add a little bit more to his game. And if he takes it to that other level, Williams is their centerpiece at center, defensively, rim protection, running above the rim offensively. Maybe Tatum's able to make a little bit more. Less Kemba Walker. I don't know. I don't hate it. He's kind of convincing me. So if you can get 30-1 there, someone, one of the best that's done it, fired on Tatum 30-1. Anything yet, Quan? Nobody. All right. Well, that's the show. Sucks for you guys because I got $750 on the line today. Let's cut the line.
We're waiting for Carlos.
We already got the Braves scoring a bunch of runs. Oh, they were about to. 2 on, double play on a line drive. He was going. I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to drop. Rosario, who's hitting like 440 in the playoffs now, got caught. I can't believe Dodgers bailed out. Wow. That's sick. Everyone's already watching this game.
We had an all points bulletin out for Carlos, Mike, and Matthew.
I will give them the time. We'll just hang, chat, watch the game. I'm not actually going to close up the phone lines. Oh, we got one now now?
We got Matthew and Carlos. Matthew's up first.
All right, Matthew, welcome to Who Wants to Be Betting Extraordinaire. I will review the question again. I went on a little tangent with NBA speak with some Jason Tatum stuff and the Celtics, the news on Jaylen Brown tomorrow. Warriors money line. You just got to pick a winner here out of these 4. Westbrook over 1.5 threes. Harden over 3.5 threes. And Middleton over 1.5 steals plus blocks. They're all priced similarly. The Westbrook one, from a price perspective, is a little bit worse, but I just think it's interesting based on the phone call we had last hour. Does he know that he's on? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think
you're good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of been sitting here pondering, kind of looking at some of the prices and stuff. I was watching the Braves-Dodgers game, too. I'm actually a big Braves fan, so.
Lovely. I can't believe that we just got pulled out there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but hopefully Riley continues his MVP trend right here. Yeah, I like this one. I'm actually a huge Russell Westbrook fan.
Why?
My firstborn son, his name is Brody.
Really?
I've always loved him, the way he plays, his his tenacity and the way he plays the game. So I've been a big fan of his since he was on the Thunder, and then when he was in Houston, Washington, whatever. So it's cool he gets to team up with LeBron and AD this year. Hopefully it goes well.
I'll interject real quick, and you can think about it for another minute. People heard me say why, and they're like, oh, I'm probably just saying this now to save some face because apparently you love Russ. Look, he's not a very efficient player. He's not a very analytically savvy player. He never has been. Strikeout Walker Buehler. We got out of the jam. But if there's one thing I respect more than really anything, it's someone that has a drive, the Mamba mentality, the tenacity, like you referenced, that Russ brings night in, night out. I certainly do not have that physically or mentally, where I can just be like grinding that hard and go that hard all the time. And so there's something to that is certainly applicable to all walks of life that Russ has. That, like, remember, like, he didn't even start as a freshman at UCLA, I think is the story, right? He had to like earn his spot to even being a starter on that team. He wasn't highly recruited. Like, he just works harder than everyone else. And that goes a long way. And anyway, I just have to say, as much as I asked you, why do you like Russell Westbrook? That part of it, for sure, I respect as well. So, continuing on, what do you want to roll with for the question?
Man, this is I don't know. Like you said, the Westbrook one is tempting just because of the new dynamic, and like you said, he's going to be probably playing out on the perimeter a little bit more. But I don't even know if he really, to be honest, I don't know. Over 1.5 of him 3-point attempted would I feel like somewhat considered questionable, So I think I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm really trying to decide between Harden and Middleton. I don't know. I actually bet the Lakers under season win total just because I think the Lakers, I bet them to win the championship, but under season win total just because I think they're going to be one of those teams where, load management, whatever, regular season, they're not going to go super hard. But they still have the talent there to do well. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors do come in and win tonight, but I'm not that comfortable with that. So I don't know. With Kyrie being out, obviously I feel like Harden and KD feel like they're probably going to have to generate more of the offense. And then again, I feel like that's going to be a high-scoring game, lots of possessions, lots of back and forth. So the Middleton 1.5 steals and blocks I also don't hate. I was looking at some of his averages, though. It's not as high as I would have loved to really get into this pick, but
it's definitely an underdog.
I'll rock with D. Chris Middleton over 1.5 steals and blocks.
Okay, we will lock it in. He talked it all through. I love it. Good job. Good luck tonight. We will talk to you later on. Hopefully tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Go Braves.
See you, man. Also, he's DQ'd for saying "Go Braves" at the end of the call, so he's out. Who's up next? You said Carlos. What's up, man? How's it going, Carlos? You've been watching. Have you seen the question? It's a little bit funky, but it's on the NBA openers tonight.
It's very funky. Yes, it is. But I think I am going. Listen, Russell Westbrook is so erratic. It's ridiculous. He played for our Wizards, and I'm glad he's gone. But I think he will chuck. So this is over 1.5 threes made, correct?
Yes.
For him?
He shot over 4 last year. He's gone down some. He's had seasons. He shot like 7.2 a few years back per game. The narrative speak around this is like, hey, he's not going to be going one-on-one ISO. He's going to be spotting up off of LeBron and AD more frequently. He's probably not a 30% three-point shooter and open catch and shoot threes. Maybe he just spots up and shoots threes, especially if he makes 1 or 2. Like, he's not shy. So, yes, it's definitely not attempts. Same with Harden. Harden has to make 4.
Right.
Okay, that's a little underdog, but like Harden's shooting, 10 plus pretty frequently.
Harden is he's just so good. Harden is really, really good. One of my favorite players in the league.
Yes.
And he just kind of comes down and just throws it up and it goes in. It's between those two. I met Russell Westbrook at the Win, and he did not take a picture with me, so I don't like him personally.
You asked?
I did, and he said no.
Was it in the poker room, or was it tables?
We were outside the poker room.
Okay, yeah. I know he likes to play cards quite a bit, so I've seen him around.
Yep.
I'm sorry he said no.
Yeah, so that's okay. Could have got a picture with me, that betting extraordinaire. But anyway,
had he known,
I'm going with
that's
Russell.
Right.
I'm going Harden over 3.5.
Okay. C. James Harden over the 3.5. By the way, just to clarify for everyone, there's a chance all 4 of these lose when we start getting into the future days questions. Day 3, it is for real cash. It's possible. If they all lose, look, I have done the math before. It's like 11% that all 4 lose. Then we're resetting anyway, day 1 tomorrow. So there's no none option. I got a little 11% equity in my pocket that I don't have to pay anybody money. But anyways, just wanted to reference that. C for Carlos, Harden over 3.5 threes. We'll talk to you later, bud.
All right, thanks.
Mookie Betts with the leadoff walk. Bottom of the first. Is Mike or Matt? Mike, cool. Welcome to the show, man. You ready to go? Have you seen the question?
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to inspire an answer choice here.
Yes. I don't know if you like it enough to go with it relative to the other options, or if you really want to back it up. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting angle.
Yeah, I was originally between Middleton, the Warriors, and Westbrook. I mean, I think the Warriors might be the best price. You just said that just moved to +4 now.
Circa went from 3 to 4 at 1:58. So 24 minutes ago, they skipped 3.5, but 8 minutes ago, it got hit back down to 3.5. So I'm not sure what it means other than someone pretty influential a few hours before tip, betting at Circa, who takes some of the biggest limits, at least in the United States. They moved it a full point. Now, it could just be the guy that lost $2 million in blackjack last night, but it also could be someone that actually influences the market. The fact it didn't move everywhere else a ton, it did move. Some of the threes did move to 3.5. Then maybe it wasn't someone that's like amazing, but I don't know. It's just stuff to read into it, but it did move up. The money line price, for what it's worth, though, on Golden State, it's about 140, 145. One spot's like the best price you can get. There's also a couple plus 137, 138. So it's all in that pocket.
It's tough. I don't know if I want to go down with the Westbrook ship.
Not many people do. As Quan said last hour, counting on Westbrook not only to shoot a bunch of threes, but to make them is a feat in and of itself.
All right. I'm going to go with a Warriors money line. I have Westbrook as my bet today. I said during that, I think part of that it's going to be that the Warriors are going to be ahead. It's a fast-paced game, hopefully. And I hope A and B hit. I hope all 4 hit. So we have 3 people on day 4 tomorrow, but I'm going to go with A.
While you were telling us that you went with A, which I didn't realize until just now that you went with A, Corey Seager hit a 444-foot bomb. Just like that, it's 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the first. Mike, we appreciate the call. Good luck tonight. We'll lock you in for Warriors.
Oh.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Someone try to call in and get in. Yeah, sorry. Day 3. We got people that have already won a couple in a row. Just got to make 7 picks straight. Win $25,000. It's not that hard. Carlos almost did it.
Mike's interesting because this question, one of the answers is inspired by his bet. And when the money's on the line.
When the money's on the line,
he said, no way. No.
He went with the one that actually has a more of a likelihood to win. Now, it's actually fine because, so for Last Word Cheetah, we have callers that call in. They tell us bets they like. We track them, and whoever has the most wins, the best ROI, the most units won at the end of the month wins cash. He needs to play catch-up more. He's willing to take more of a shot in those spots. Today, he has to pick a winner, and he literally has at least 250 in his pocket. So it makes sense to go with the one that he thinks, at least has the most likelihood of happening, the highest likelihood of happening. D is actually, based on the 2 books I looked at, Middleton going over the 1.5 steals and blocks is, think the most likely. Then it's A, then it's C, then it's B. So just from a price perspective, I think the Warriors are going to win. I'd go with A myself, and totally good with it. We've talked plenty on Last Word Cheetah about my disdain for the potential Lakers start, at least, to this season. You got to make a pick, though, Quan. You always do. What are you going to go with? You went with Titans last night, too, right?
Yeah. No, I took the under.
That explains
Way
a lot.
off.
Okay.
I'm going to go. I said it on Cheetah, Last Word Cheetah. I like the Warriors tonight, straight up.
Yeah, I might switch to D. Maybe some other people should switch to D.
Always fade Quan.
Yeah, that's usually gone pretty well for most people. That's it, but not for today for people that care. In an hour and a half, we're doing our second show here at the Bets TV studios with the Lucky Trader crew, interviewing Ryan from Know Your Horses and Lucky Trader. For those that are interested, it's NFT discussion, crypto discussion. We do that here. That'll be in an hour and a half, so a new stream will go up. But yeah, other than that, we'll be back tomorrow, same time as usual, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific for Last Word Cheetah. And then hopefully day 4 of Who Wants to Be Betting Extraordinaire at 2 Pacific here, all brought to you by Bets TV.